Hello and welcome to the Nintendo Switch Online Game Club, the show where we play through the games available on Nintendo's various NSO apps completely at random. I'm your host, Derrick Bittner, and I'm joined this episode by AntDude, YouTube reviewer and Kirby fanatic. How you doing, Ant?
Doing good. How about yourself?
Doing good. And Miss Fushi, VTuber and ASMRist. How you doing, Fushi?
I am doing pretty good today. How are you?
Doing good. And as you're both likely aware, there are now over 200 games across the NSO, and while some are widely known like Super Mario Bros. And Zelda, there are some odd picks that could be hidden gems. We honestly don't know. So what we'll be doing is entering all those games into a randomizer, picking one, and then giving our initial thoughts. And this week, the Wheel of Games has chosen Tuff E Nuff for the Super Nintendo. What are our experiences with Tuff E Nuff on the Super Nintendo? Ant, let's start with you.
When you when you initially pitched this to me, I was like, okay, I'm pretty good with a lot of these NSO apps. I research retro games all the time. I was like, man, I'm hoping for Fire and Ice. I'm hoping for, I don't know, to play Mario Advance. Like, I just don't play those as much as the console ones. But of all of them, you got... So on the Super Nintendo app, I put the games that I like up top, and then put the games I know nothing about at the bottom. And I want to say the very bottom row of my custom configuration is Tuff E Nuff. So finally get to try this out and knock another game off the backlog.
I am so excited because when you told me that you play a lot of these games, I'm like, oh, we're probably going to get something he's played before, so that won't be as entertaining. But no, we get to throw you a curveball, and that makes me very happy. But
yeah,
what about Fushi? What's your experience with Tuff E Nuff?
Absolutely nothing. I know that is very surprising. I didn't know what it was until you said it looks like it is All Might on the cover, and I was like, yeah, that one. And then I Googled it, and I don't play a lot of fighting games, but I'm very, very down to play an incredibly old school fighting game, especially since it looks like it's post-apocalyptic, and I really like those kind of themes, so I am moderately interested and partially excited to try this game.
I've seen this, like I came up and I immediately was like, why is All Might on the cover? This is just my first thought upon seeing this. He's just really angry, like an American version of him, asking Rob Liefeld to take care of it or something like that. But I always thought this was a beat 'em up. I had no idea this was a fighter. Like we did not realize that until we wikied it or you looked up a long play.
This is a 1v1 fighting game.
And it's just a 1v1 fighting game. It is post-apocalyptic. It's called Dead Dance in Japan, which is
that's pretty cool.
Way better name. It's
pretty cool. Yeah.
Came out in 1993, across just about the year, so it's a bit older. Now, the other interesting thing is there seems to be only 4 playable characters, but more beyond that as CPU opponents. I don't know if you can unlock more with that whole thing. We'll find that out as we play. But yeah, only 4 available, and there's a story mode, and I don't know what else we got. I honestly don't know what we're in for.
Not a clue. I mean, it's also... I'm looking now for another game made by Jalico, because I feel like that's at least a name that kind of has some merit.
I've heard of that before, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm struggling. They did Bases Loaded. All right, that's something. Oh, they did. There's a few Jalico games on NSO that I don't think anyone's played. This is a company known for just putting out whatever.
Right. It's they put out the Ninja Jajamaru Kun games, I think.
Yeah, I saw that.
So.
They did Wonder Boy and Monsterland.
That's cool.
So there's that.
That's a good game.
That's a cool game.
It's quite the mix for sure as far as what we have here from Jellico, but yeah, as far as any history or idea with it, I have no idea. I know I did a stream where I did a bunch of randomized NSO games, which partially inspired this whole series, where I got another fighting game on the SNES. I can't remember what it was, but it was not good. I did not enjoy it. So I don't know if this will be better than that or not. It's very much up in the air. I have no idea what I'm in for as far as this fighting game or what kind of mechanics we're in for. Yep. I do know it has not shown up on Matt McMuscle's worst fighting game list, so it gives me a little bit of
okay.
It's not been an episode on there, so I'm like, okay, it's at least maybe just mid.
Yeah. So all right, sure.
Yeah. Do we have any hopes? Fushi, what are your hopes for this one?
I hope it is at least fun to play, or that some of the characters are somewhat memorable or interesting. I'm looking at the sprite work online right now. I see that I can play as a girl, so I'm excited to be a girl. And I'm curious if there's any story or any interaction between the characters, or if it's just, match 1, match 2, match 3, and it goes that sort of way. Also, I'm ready to fight Ant in this game.
Yeah,
I would like to fight you and defeat you.
I hope you do. I hope you win. I'm probably gonna be mostly checking out single player. I'll see if I can rope somebody in for a multiplayer. But I'm not too concerned about that, because I typically play fighting games by myself anyway. So it's like it's just true to form. Yeah. So any hopes on your end, Ant?
I mean, I guess the benefit is I'll just play against Fushi, so we have a local Super Nintendo game that we can play, so that's cool. Thanks to the power of NSO, you could play this online.
Yeah,
so
technically we could play together as well.
That's true. We can knock that out too for a big group sesh. So that's cool.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that all works out. What were you gonna say, Fushi?
There's a character from New York, and his name is Beans. His name's Beans.
Oh, yo, I get to play as... All right, I'm going to play as Beans.
From the Bronx.
You got Beans.
All right. I'm representing my home city. I'm going to play as Beans.
Let's go, Beans.
I got my main...
You from the Bronx? Oh,
I'm from Brooklyn, but it's close enough. I'll play as Beans. Unfortunately,
he's a CPU opponent. Sorry. We got Sio from Japan, Zazie from the States. Doesn't even say where he's at in the States, just the States. Katono from Japan, and then Vorts from Russia. Oh, no, Netherlands.
Vorts.
Netherlands. That's interesting.
Yeah. Right. It looks like you can unlock those characters, though, using a special code. So there are 7 additional characters that you can be, which does include Beans, it looks like.
Oh, okay. So. If it includes a code to do that, I guess that works.
I gotta play as my boy Beans. I gotta play as my boy Beans.
Oh, I love it. All right. Well, that's our initial thoughts on Tuff E Nuff. We'll be back soon to give our full thoughts after playing. So we'll see you soon.
Visit the future after the Great War and meet Jade, who commands his Rumble Kingdom with evil powers and an iron fist. Join 4 heroic champions who seek to end the terror and bring peace to the land. But only one can enter Jade's tower at a time. So first, you must fight each other to see who is the strongest. The winner gets to challenge the evil Jade. Get tough with Tuff E Nuff from Jalico.
And we're back after a week of playing Tuff E Nuff for the SNES. It's the first fighting game to pop up as part of the game club, but was it a good one? Well, I'm excited to hear this, but let's start with you, Fushi, because I know you have words. What did you think of Tuff E Nuff?
It was terrible. Yay! I don't have a lot of experience with fighting games, but that was a fighting game, one of which I didn't super enjoy. I admit I did use some of the rewind feature that comes with the Nintendo Switch Online, because I needed it, because some of those bosses are cheap as heck to fight on normal mode. But I beat it. It. And
did you feel accomplished by beating it?
Absolutely not. It was an experience, let me tell you. I'm really curious to hear what you guys think about it. Yes. Did you enjoy it?
What about you, Ed? Did you enjoy this look at Tuff E Nuff? One of the rare games you've not tried on the NSO.
I know. Well, first off, the disrespect. The full title is "Hey Punk, Are You Tuff E Nuff?" That's the full title.
If you're American, if we want the Japanese title, which is way better, it's Dead Dance.
Yeah.
That's so much cooler.
It's so much better. Second off, no, this game is terrible. It's garbage. it's so bad. And I'm not a fighting game guy in general, but I know enough about what makes a fighting game good. This doesn't have any of that. You play the game for 2 minutes and you kind of get it. And we tried looking up like game facts and stuff to learn the move sets and whatnot, and some of the stuff just didn't work.
I swear I was trying to do a certain move, and it was a crapshoot whether it was going to be one or the other.
Yeah,
like between two of them. I don't do charge moves, and I was like, nope, not trying any of those. I
was trying charge moves because the game fact guide said specifically like this charge means hold this button for a second and then do the rest of it, and I was doing that, didn't work. But sometimes this other move would happen, and I don't know how I did it. It just happened.
I've tried charge characters for years in fighting games, and I've still yet to make that actually work for me. I've just never been able to make it a thing. But yes, I think the funny thing is, I think I came away slightly more positive than you two, because I think there are good points about this game. Gameplay is not one of them. Gameplay is absolutely not one of them, because if you're playing single player, this is definitely one of those fighting games where it's just the AI. It's an input reading bastard. It just feels like every time you put in something, they know exactly how to counter you.
So anytime I did extra context, extra context, she managed to finish this entire game on normal. Impressive. I had to go to easy because I couldn't handle it. I had such low patience for it. Every time I would jump, they would be like, "Oh, I got you. I got you." I immediately know. Yeah, it was rough. I finished it on normal as well because I was determined, and I had to, like, you basically have to figure out the one move that you can take advantage of to exploit them. But yeah, like Fushi, I also made liberal use of the rewind function because it's just like, oh God, I can't do this. I can't. It's just not fun, and the moves don't feel that impactful most of the time. No.
Or go ahead.
I was just going to say, I don't know if you guys stuck to one main move, but I played as the only girl character, Kotono, and she has like a power kick, and I spammed that with block over and over again. And I don't know how I did it, but there was some combo where she would kick someone in the air, spin her foot, and then slam them to the ground that did pretty good damage.
Right.
And I would do it. I don't know how I did it, though. I couldn't. It would just happen sometimes.
I have no idea how to do a grab in this game because every so often I do a grab either in the air or on the ground. I played only CO.
Or so I played CO. I played CU also, and I spammed the kind of the uppercut move where you can do the dash uppercut thing.
Yeah.
But then sometimes there was one time I did, I think, a kick in the air, but I like grabbed him with my legs and then slammed him down. I don't know what that was all about. And then sometimes a dragon would show up. Like an energy dragon would show up around me. And
I never had an energy dragon show up. What the hell?
I don't know. Sometimes I would do something.
At one point, and I did like an uppercut, and I was like, "This only happened once the whole game."
There'd be some move where like I would do like an energy blast, but it looked like an electric dragon was spinning around my character. I don't know how I did it. I looked up the game facts guide, and I did not. I don't know how I did it.
I
don't know.
I got nothing as far as that. I found like two moves that I could reliably do, like his energy shot and his uppercut, as you said.
Yeah.
Which was also useful because if you do it just right, you go under projectiles and kind of get them. Yeah. But if you miss if you miss it, you're just left wide open, and they're gonna punish you like crazy.
Yes.
It was.
So like I'm not a big fighting game guy. I said this, but like immediately after I did this, I went back and played on the Genesis app is Street Fighter 2. So I was like, I'm not even a Street Fighter fan, but I'm like, let me just remember what it's like. And I remember like one of the big things is a good fighting game on Super Nintendo had 6 buttons to work with because they would use the shoulder buttons. The shoulder buttons do nothing in Tough Enough. It just punch, kick, strong punch, strong kick. Directions don't do anything to any move. You just press the punch button. It doesn't matter what direction you're pressing. It's the same move. So you only have like 4 moves to work with, and maybe like 2 others in the air. And it just felt like a button mashing mess. You couldn't string moves into anything. It was just it wasn't good.
I do have a single good thing to say about the game. I did think that some of the backgrounds were cool. especially the one with the Kenpo swordsman, Ray.
Yeah, the only other girl.
Is that a girl?
Yeah,
Are they a girl?
Yeah, that's a girl.
Oh, okay. So the only other girl, I liked her background. I thought it was really pretty. I took a screenshot of it because I thought that was nice pixel work with like the smoke and stuff. That's my one nice thing about Tuff E Nuff.
Well, that's the thing. I think presentation-wise,
Yeah,
it's not a bad
fine.
game. These are good sprites. It has some good backgrounds. The music's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Everything presentation-wise, this is pretty decent. I enjoy it. The character designs are fine. I don't think there's anything too egregious or anything too stand out about any of them. It's as far as that's all concerned, it's nice. But then the part, like, I was actually going to try to make it a point to beat the game with all 4 main characters. And just so I could see their endings. But as soon as I got the ending where it's just like, yes, you are Tuff E Nuff.
Yeah, that's it. You're done.
I'm like, oh, I know exactly how this is go because it's so generic. And I looked this up afterwards. There are epilogues for each character. There is story for each character. Only in the Japanese version. For whatever reason, they removed them for the American port.
Of course.
Yeah, like I feel like the end screen was kind of lame. I posted it for your lovely Patreon humans to see, but it just says you've beaten the meanest, toughest guys around. You're more than Tuff E Nuff. Congratulations, and that's it.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, what happens to my character? Like, why?
I mean, I guess we do have access to the
why was I
Japanese
fighting?
version, so we can play the Japanese version on the Japanese app. So
yes, but you still wouldn't be able to read what the epilogues are. So
it's a fair point.
I don't imagine there's anything really there, because the thing is, again, there's a kind of a decent production value to the opening where they're going down like, this is what happened to the world, and this is how Jade took over the world and is become this fighting king, and I have this all set up. I'm like, oh, okay, we got a bit of a story here. I like fighting game stories. I'm one of those dumb people. I get into it. And yeah, it just a whole lot of nothing after that. I don't quite get it. The other thing I noticed is the playable characters, to me, were much harder to beat than the CPU, like the boss characters, like once you get past the playable roster. Like, I was getting my butt kicked by Zazie and Katono for a while. Vorts I finally managed. But then, like, I got to Beans, Dolph, Ray, all of them except for the final 2 gave me trouble.
I thought the ninja guy was tough because he had his big sword.
He was the hardest for me. The ninja, the ninja, and then the final guy who just looks like Dio from JoJo's.
And stuff.
His pixel work. He's Dio, but he just attacked nonstop. There was no period. There was no break. And even with a block, he was still causing substantial damage, the final boss. It was really hard to break through that.
And also, by the way, I played it on easy. I started on normal mode, and then I got frustrated because I get very easily frustrated, so I went to easy. But even on easy, it didn't stop anything. So, like, the second half of the game, I think the chance of me winning was higher, but still, a lot of times these hits would just come in, and there's, like, nothing I can do, because, they just had the inputs exactly. So, even on easy mode, it didn't fix anything. When we were both done, we both played it side by side, and we were like, you want to play each other now? And she said, nope. I'm like, all right.
I said no!
You guys had the opportunity to see how this would play. You could have beat him up, and you chose not to. You chose no violence.
We took it as he played easy, I played normal. We can compare that. We played different characters. Like, we can have that comparison.
Nope.
I mean, I was happy when I finished it. I got to say it goes on my mental games I've beat list. And I don't want to ever play it again.
I don't blame you for that. So, fun fact, the Wikipedia also has reviews back in the time at the end of the day.
I wanted to talk about this because this is garbage. There's no way. They got paid. There's no way.
And it's all like hovers around like 75 to 80% reviews. Basically saying that it's actually one of the best Street Fighter clones on the system. Now, here's the one that I take a lot of issue with, where this apparently Super Play magazine ranked the game as the second best fighting game on the SNES, dethroning the previous second choice, Fatal Fury, which feels like blasphemy that this game is considered better than Fatal Fury. Granted, I've never
rather play
Fatal Fury, but it has to be not as good as that.
Fatal Fury is good. I would rather play Double Dragon 4 than this again. And Double Dragon 4 on Super Nintendo was garbage. Yeah, I don't know what these guys are on with those high review scores. That does not make any sense.
I mean, it's pretty, but it's definitely. It feels like it's made to take your quarters. That's all I'm saying.
I don't even know if this was a arcade game originally. I think this might have just come to.
I think I have no information as to it going to arcades, but I feel like it feels like even if it's not, it wants your quarters anyway. Like it's so brutal.
Mm-hmm. The shame of it is that I don't understand why they took out so much story, because again, as I'm looking through here, it's not just epilogues that are in there, but there's conversations between the characters before each fight. It's probably nothing major, but it's still something. And
a lot of Japanese games got lost a lot of that stuff in translation back in the day. They're like, Americans don't want story; they just want to fight. That's all they want to do. They just want to fight.
I guess so.
Maybe.
There's elements here.
But also, are you really upset that you don't know the backstory to Vorts? Would that really, if you knew why Vorts was fighting?
I mean, because the pixel work is beautiful, like you had said, Derrick. It looks nice. So if we had story elements, then we could overlook some of those gameplay issues, because then there could be a nostalgia factor of liking the characters or things like that. I don't know why they removed it either. That it's like they didn't give the game a chance.
I just want as basic as possible, because I mean, it feels like we lost some kind of significant things here, because just reading over this, I'm sure you had a laugh like me, Fushi, where you saw after the ending is like, try beating it on hard mode. No. God, no. If you do beat it on hard mode, all it says is congratulations for beating hard mode. But you also get closing credits that show a clip of your battles with each enemy you faced. And here's the thing that this Wikipedia mentions that I did not notice at all. Your character's skills evolve over story mode with an RPG-like element, with your special moves becoming slightly larger and more powerful after each group of opponents are defeated. Did either of you notice that at all? Because I sure as hell didn't.
No! I caught on fire one time and did an uppercut, but in the final fight, but that's it. I didn't notice. There was nothing to indicate it on screen.
I did just go on GameFAQs to check, and the bottom does say, hold select on the stage selection screen to access button config and select the power-up level of your character. So
what?
I guess it's there, but it's not noticeable.
Nothing. I don't recall anything.
What does the power scaling in story mode even matter if the next character is also stronger? You're just comparing it to nothing.
Yeah.
You're just comparing it to nothing.
You also reminded me, Derrick, that there was one neat thing. Whenever you finished a fight, you could rewind or fast forward the battle footage, like a play-by-play.
Like frame by frame.
I know if I was a kid especially, I would think that was cool. I'd be like, look, watch the thing I just did. Calling my siblings in and stuff like that. So that was a neat aspect, but...
Alternatively, at first I was like that at first, but then you start losing to these enemies a lot, and all of a sudden it's like, I just want to try again to the fight, but I have to skip past the replay function, which it's not that long, but it builds up over time. It's just like, I just want to get back into the fight.
I can understand that completely. That is a very good point.
What we did instead is every time we died, we just did the shoulder buttons and then rewinded to the start of the match and just did it all over again.
Yeah, that makes
never
more
happened.
sense. Yeah, that's what I started doing. It was a time saver once again.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
But that's that's tough enough.
There's not even a whole lot of extra modes. You got your story mode, you got your multiplayer mode, 1v2. One player versus second player, and then just fight random CPUs.
Yes.
That's it. No, I mean,
by definition, this is a fighting game.
Yes.
You can't take that away from Tuff E Nuff. This is a fighting game on the Super Nintendo.
I'm not like a fighting game aficionado. I don't know when training modes really became the norm or anything like that, but like this was 1993, so I think it's still early on for when those extra type of modes weren't really a thing. So I'm not going to knock it too hard against that, but it is so bare bones and kind of just there it is.
Yep.
I
wish my point on this series was like more exciting. For this, it's a fighting game.
Well, did any of us have a favorite fight or a character to fight? Maybe no.
I thought Ray was a cool design, and that was about it.
The final fight meant that it was over after that.
I liked Beans' really weird punching sprite work where he has a bunch of little fists.
Oh yeah, he does that like multi-hit attack that really can mess you up if you get caught in it, right?
Yeah, I figured out how to block it and it wasn't much of an issue, but at first I was like, ow, and he just like super fast punch. I thought that was cool. You know, Beans?
Yeah.
Beans is C tier according to this tier list.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the tier list.
Somehow that ninja guy is D tier, which is crazy because he was very annoying.
I have no idea if there's a competitive scene for this game. I can't.
It's just one guy. It's just one guy who's like, I kind of like how this looks, and then uploaded it. No one's played the game since.
One guy speed runs this game. Actually, I'm gonna check. Tuff E Nuff.
A speed
run. I gotta know.
There's gotta be one.
Let's see. The winner has 14 minutes and 6 seconds.
Good for him.
As of a year ago. He plays this Sayo.
Okay, that's the
main character.
Yeah,
the funny thing,
Ryu
there's 4
and Ken
characters, but Sayo and Zazie play exactly the same.
Yeah, it's the Ryu and Ken. So there's 3 playable characters more. Because even if you look at the game fact move list, like both those characters share the same moveset.
Yeah.
So
I think that only their heads are different too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, one CEO lives in Japan. Zazie is from Texas.
Oh, the two places that are most alike in the world.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. Another little fun fact: the American box art for this game is often considered to be one of the worst designs for
it's
video
pretty
game
bad
of all time. It just looks, as we mentioned before, it just looks like an angry All Might, American All Might.
It does.
Which I guess is that the final guy? Is that the?
I don't know who that's supposed to be, honestly.
I feel like it is because the final guy looks more like Dio in his sprite work. I know that
maybe that's the final guy.
Not a fair comparison, but he's the only one who's got the blonde hair. But the cover kind of looks like a monkey, like from like Planet of the Apes. It doesn't look like a person the way the face is formulated and like the open mouth. It's so weird.
I don't know, like
that I guess that's Jade. Yeah, that looks like I pulled up the sprite sheet for Jade. That's Jade.
Okay,
but it doesn't. There's red on his art and the box art. There's no red on his sprite.
Yeah. Apparently, the guy who used the rocket launcher is an S tier character, but I didn't find him difficult.
No, I didn't either. He seemed to go down pretty easily.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was weird. The CPU opponents weren't that bad until like the final 3.
Yep.
Yeah. That and the samurai. The samurai was not good for me. Probably because it had such long range attacks and I just had to come in close and kick people in the face. Couldn't do that.
I tried playing Katono and I just like, oh God, I couldn't figure out her movements. I just didn't have I couldn't get the uppercut. I'm impressed you did manage it with her because I just didn't click for me.
I was determined. I'm like, I'm going to win with the one girl who wears green because that's my thing. So...
CO had hold back and then you do down forward punch. And it just did that over and over again. And sometimes it did power punch if I wanted to be spicy. And that was just the same move, but it went a little bit further. That was it. It was the same move.
I love that CO's projectile. It doesn't come from his hands. I swear to God, it just looks like it comes straight out of his face.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm,
sure. Yeah. Well, I had a feeling this was not going to be a very long one. There's just not much to say about Tuff E Nuff.
They put it on the service.
They put it on this. That's quality. Nintendo seal quality right there.
It is available to play.
Is it worth the no additional cost that we have by already paying for the NSO? Yeah. Is it worth the no additional cost?
Well, that's kind of what we
I
have
say
to.
No.
That's kind of what we have to determine because I believe we've said all we wanted to say about Tuff E Nuff. Well, we got to give our final verdict. Got to make this official. So, would you recommend this game as an NSO or tell people to stay away with an NO? And you're already shaking your head, so let's start with you.
Nope, absolutely. Man, I'm looking back. This came out the same NSO drop as Donkey Kong Country 3.
Yeah, play Donkey Kong Country 3.
God. Yeah.
I mean, not even to check it out, just to be like, it's a curiosity. No, just stay away.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, it's not worth it. I mean, if you want to play any fighting game, I don't know why you wouldn't, like, if you want a Super Nintendo fighting game, why you would even attempt anything that's not Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat. Just the staples there. But if you have a really morbid, because the thing is, I like platformers, so I really like a lot of the C and D tier platformers. Like Claymates is on the NSO app. It's terrible, but I like it. It's a terrible game, but it's just I like platformers. So I'm sure if you like fighting games that much, you're like, sure, I can knock some drinks out with some friends and play this. But
have a laugh.
If you want to get cultured in Super Nintendo, this is not the way.
What about you, Fushi? Would you recommend it?
I would not recommend it. I think there are other fighting games out there that are absolutely better than this. I, as someone who doesn't play fighting games, did not have a great time. However, I have played little bits of other fighting games and greatly enjoyed myself, even if I don't have the skills. Also, it came out the same year as Bible Buffet from my childhood, so go play that instead.
That's a good game.
Bible Buffet.
Yeah, for NES.
It's a Bible trivia game.
That's more fun. Absolutely.
Is that on?
No.
Was that on console or PC?
Yeah, on NES.
Yes.
You know what? We got Quest for Camelot. Let's put Bible Buffet on.
Bible Buffet. It's for NES. Let's go.
Oh my god. Yeah, I gotta make this 3 for 3. Like I said, presentation on this game surprisingly great. Decent music, great sprites, pretty fun backgrounds, potential to have a fun little story with it, with the whole tower conceit and you mixing Fist of the North Star aesthetics and whatnot. Kind of makes it a little unique compared to your Street Fighters or your Fatal Furies or what have you. But the gameplay is just not there. It's just too hard to get the moves out. It feels too stiff. Playing by yourself is not fun because the AI just reads your inputs and it's just not great that way. And honestly, good luck convincing your friends. Like if you're going to invite your friends over to play this type of game, you're going to end up playing something better. You're going to play Street Fighter instead, or whatever. What might have you? It's just
man.
So.
It's like those people who always say that the garbage on NSO represents when you were a kid and your mom would just show up with something and it might be garbage, might not. That's at least this game is indicative of that feeling.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, that's kind of why I like doing this show, because it is that is our show. The randomizer is our mom that's just like, this looked like something you might be interested in. Try this.
Yep.
I will say, if anybody who watches this plays this, you got to beat my score of 208,500 points on normal.
Yeah, and you did that without rewinding, so you're a true NLG. For this.
I didn't rewind once. I promise, not one time to get that score.
Not at all. Oh gosh. But what about all of you? Have you played Tuff E Nuff before, or was this your first time? Let us know. But before we go, where can everyone find you at? Fushi, plug away.
Hi, I'm a streamer on Twitch. We are currently playing Paper Mario and doing some ASMR. And I also do role plays on YouTube. I am 7 away from 39,000 subscribers, so come on over, hang out. And I'm also on twitter.x.com.
Oh, God. What about you, Ant? Where can everyone find you at?
You got my main YouTube channel, AntDude92, and my second YouTube channel, AntDude Plays, which is now be my streaming channel, so streams will go there soon. A lot more content going on that channel, just a lot of stuff going on both channels. And then X as well, for as long as we have it. Enjoy what we have it.
Who knows?
It's going away soon.
It feels like it, doesn't it? Soon we'll be plugging... Yep. I don't know what we'll be plugging. Maybe Blue Sky.
We'll plug our Blue Sky soon.
Yeah, there you go. We'll see.
MySpace. Ooh.
Oh, yeah, making that come back. Save us, Tom. But yes, thank you both for joining me. And if all you lovely viewers enjoyed this episode, let us know in the comments. And please consider supporting us at patreon.com/gvgaming, which includes our live audience tier that will allow you to watch Game Club live as it's being recorded. But even just subscribing and hitting that bell helps us a ton. But now it's time for the Wheel of Games to choose next week's title, as I'm joined by my special guests, the Great Clement and Caro. Are you both ready to see what game we're playing?
Give us what you got, some trash.
Oh boy, will we get some trash? That is the question. Oh boy. I feel like it's more likely than you'd think based on my track record. But let's bring up the Wheel of Games and spin that wheel. All right, as it spins, what will come up? What are we going to see? I believe we're going NES. We are getting Star Tropics for the NES.
Whoa!
I have never played this one. And there you have it. We'll see you next time as we cover Star Tropics for the NES. Thanks for watching, and until next time, bye.
Bye.
Bye.